What's up, guys? It's your Super Players, and we got our very own Alpha Saiyan, aka Abel, and he's also part of our
What is up,
team.
guys?
And he's running an unstoppable Gogeta deck. He wants to showcase it to everyone out here. And yeah, man, run me through this deck, because this is the first time I see Gogeta, and educate me in this deck, man.
All right, guys. So, I mean, it's a pretty cool leader already. You know, Gogeta is pretty dope. Super Saiyan God on the other side.
Yep.
But ideally is that on the weekend side, you look at the top 7, and you could inflict the damage, so you don't have to. And you could look at it. You could either add an extra card, 1 cost or less. So that's probably the most restriction it has on it.
Okay.
So ideally, is you search the top 7 every single time. You search the extra cards that you need for like this. So you play around, I think 10 extra cards or 12. So the chances of you missing are slim to none. And as well, when you activate a union skill through fusioning, then you draw a card on both sides. But the reason I actually like to play this leader is because on the awakened side, the leader comes with double strike.
Oh,
he
wow.
gains plus 5k.
Oh, wow. So he just automatically has double strike. That's insane. That's so good.
Especially when, like, in this format where, I don't know if you noticed, but if you guys been playtesting set 11, a lot of the unisons are like increasing counters really fast, like +2, +3 at times, depending on the deck.
Yeah.
And you're trying to push him down with the leader as well, so it gets rid of unisons as well.
Cool. And let's get to the deck. And so we have Gotenks Earth Shattering Might. You run 4 of these guys. So why do you run 4?
I mean, this is the best unison, at least for this version of the deck. You could obviously run like other red unisons based on the build you want, but for this one, the reason I like to run it is because if you filter through your deck a lot, so basically per turn you're drawing 2 cards.
Yeah.
Because of the active, they mean it's like +0 and you draw a card. But the most important effect of this leader is that when you -5 counters, it gains double strike, dual attack, and plus 15,000.
Jeez, 30k beater pretty much. That's strong, man. That's crazy. And we're gonna go on to the extra cards: Frieza's Death Ball, Violence Ray, and Birth of the Super Warrior. 3, 3, and 4. Why do you run those in that?
Wolfang Fist as well.
Where's it at? Oh yeah, there it is. I see it. So why those cards?
So for Frieza's Death Ball, it's probably like the best, one of the best.
Yep, I agree.
How do you say, ISR like cards or theme cards?
Yeah,
or at least
the IAR cards.
You know?
Yeah, iconic rares. So good.
Yeah, you could do a cool play where on the awakened side, since your leader already gains plus 5,000 and he has double strike, when you swing on, like, when you're trying to put pressure, you could plus 15,000 with Frieza's Death Ball and -10 the leader. So ideally, that attack is too big to even defend.
Oh yeah, man, it's like a 30k plus another 5k minus. So they gotta get over like 35k, which is insane right off the bat. And then Violence Ray and Birth of the Super Warrior.
So these cards are new in the set, and they work really well with this leader, especially Violent Rays. It's probably like one of the best extra cards coming out of the set for red, at least, because so for the cost of discarding 1 card, you could either decide if your opponent cannot attack with 20k power or more battle cards for the turn, or if not, can attack with unison cards 20k power or more for the turn.
That's pretty strong. Damn,
yeah,
that's pretty
so
good.
Against like the Gotenks decks, the Broly deck, it shuts down the entire turn most of the time.
Hear that, everybody? Play Gogeta. And then we have Birth of a Super Warrior. This card's just good. I think this one brings out, you could either search them or play them, right? The Goku and the Vegeta BR cards.
Yeah, ideally you want to search them from your deck, so you're filtering through your deck, and so you could do the union fusions. But at times against certain decks, like the blue matchups, you want to put pressure, since most of them are based on ramp and that strategy. So you want to play your 1-drops at times to put pressure on them early game.
Gotcha. So you just want to start attacking them ASAP. Cool. And then we obviously got the Vegeta and Son Goku vanilla cards. Just great cards, great targets to Union Fusion. And not only that, it works very well with the extra card. Then we're going to move on to the next cards, which would be Vegeta Godly Aura. And yeah, that next one, the Vegeta card. What does that do?
So this is part of the one of the new promos that are releasing the kit. So what it does is when you play this card, you could add a red extra card from your drop area energy cost of 1 to your hand. But ideally, you want to use it for second auto, which is when this card is discarded for a Union Fusion, you could search the top 10 for a Gogeta BR.
Oh, that's just like Trunks. The green Trunks does that. Just like father and son, you know, like they want to keep a theme like that. That's pretty cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we go on to the red super combo, Raditz Saiyan Youth. Why this guy?
Man, I mean, this super combo is like really good. You draw 2, and you just all for the cost of just like putting 1 card under your deck, basically.
That's pretty good. That's a really strong card. And then we move on to Veku, the Fragile, and Veku Contents Under Pressure. Why those two guys? Why is it a 2-4 split?
So for Veku, the Fragile, I didn't have it in the first draft at first because it didn't seem like it was useful in a lot of matchups. But the reason I added it back is because Vegeta Gali Aura allows you to it's another target for it. So the more you fusion with it, the more you're able to search through your deck for your Gogeta chain, which is probably the most important part of the deck.
Gotcha.
And it does something cool like -10 something when it goes to the drop area.
Nice. And then the Veku just gets you the pieces you need, correct? The chunky one, the chunky boy.
This guy's probably like the best one in the deck. The Fat Veku. I mean, you could attack battle cards in Actimo, which is also really good. And you get 15k pressure for free.
Yeah, that's pretty strong in my opinion. And you get to plus a marker if you have to. And then we have Yamcha Merciless Barrage. Obviously, that's a great unison, I think, counterplay, I think, right?
It's good, but I hate it.
You hate it?
Might cut it?
Oh, you might cut it? What would you replace it for?
Probably XS Vegeta, the one that -20 essentially does the same thing. But since your unison is always at high markers, it's kind of good to like not even play. Because there are some matches where your opponent's bringing out big bodies early on, and just -15ing them to prevent that pressure is really good as well.
Gotcha. All right, and then Topo Righteous 8 is always just a great negate. You always got to run Topo. And then why these Gogetas? Why is it the 4-4-4 or 4-4-2 split from these guys? The fusion of the gods, and then the other one is the new one, I believe, from the new set, is SSB Gogeta Technique Unchained.
So this is the heart of the deck. Basically, probably one of the main reasons you play this chain is with this leader is because the best part of them is that the 5-drop and the 6-drop cannot be KO'd, so you gotta work them. So decks that don't have Oberon's that warp or cards that don't warp them, then they're gonna stick on the board for the whole game.
Oof.
But ideally, the 5-drop has deflect as well.
Oh my gosh, I just realized that it does.
Yeah, like the leader card is red. When he's played, you could basically wipe the entire board by -15 them every single thing on the board on your opponent's side, and then you give your unison a marker.
Wow, that's just insane.
So yeah, then the 6-drop does essentially the same thing, but you -20 something either any card like leader or battle card, not unisons.
Gotcha. And then it adds 2 markers to unison also, from what I read.
Yeah.
And then you got obviously SSB Gogeta Fusion. Onslaught is the guy that just constantly adds pressure, keeps like he's a board wipe is what I call him. He's just so good.
Yeah, so like the cool thing about this one, you could evolve it over the 6-drop the turn after, because the 6-drop restricts you from playing something that same turn. And I guess like the power play you have is the turn before when you bring out the 6-drop Gogeta and you wipe the entire board. When you swing, if your opponent's at 4 life or less, you swing, you -20 their leader.
Wow, you're right.
Usually they always take those 2 life because the attack is too big.
Yeah.
And then the next turn, you just prevent like your opponent from playing battle cards, and then the next turn when your opponent has no battle cards, you evolve the 8-drop and you inflict 2 more damage.
That's insane. And then obviously SCR, you're running the SS4 Gogeta Peerless Fusion. He's just so
Yeah, I
strong.
mean, it's a mono red deck, so you never charge any other color, basically.
Cool. All right, and let's go into the sideboard. I was tripping out for a second when you told me I saw 1-1-1-1, but then you told me these are substitutes, right? That's what you were saying. Like if you wanted to add some cards, it was gonna either be some of these cards, right? I think that's what you mentioned to me.
Yeah, or either these cards have already made it into the main deck, but I took them out based on testing. I just felt that they were good, but not fitting my playstyle.
Ah, okay. Cool. And so let's run it down. So you put Strategies of Universe 7, Broly Crown Retribution. So from all these, which one do you think is very essential, you would say? Like now that you've been playtesting the deck, since you're giving options to players, what, as you, a competitive player, do you see as like, okay, I'm maining this now?
Probably the number one card that I'll probably main from now on, or try to fit into the main board, is Strategies of Universe 7.
Ooh, give everybody all Red Saiyan's barrier, right?
Yeah, because the thing is that your 6-drop can be KO, but a lot of decks are main decking the Mass Saiyan that warps anything 6 cost or less. Yeah,
Gotcha.
so it could really hurt you. And honestly, this prevents it. Just giving it barrier, and your opponent just can't get rid of it.
Ooh, okay. And what about, I see in the bottom you have the Red Frieza. Is that like a budget budget SCR, I guess, if you can't afford the SS4 Gogeta, I'm guessing?
Yeah, that's one thing. And of course, since you need to pay 5 red, it's perfect for this deck, because your entire deck is mono red.
Yep.
And you gotta look at your opponent's hand, wipe the board, and it has good interaction with the EX Evolve Gogeta, the 8-drop, because you wipe the board first, and then you could evolve and inflict 2 damage.
And wow, that's strong. And there you guys have it. This is from our very own Alpha Saiyan. Anybody you want to shout out, man? Anybody, anything you want to shout out? This is your time to shine, man. Whatever you want to do or whatever you want to say.
Nah, no shout outs.
No shout outs, but definitely follow him on.
Just kidding.
I was about to say, definitely follow him on Instagram. I was about to say.
Nah, like shout out, of course, super players. We putting in work with the team, trying to make these decks playable.
For sure. Thank you, man. Thank you for shouting us out. And obviously, everyone, if you're watching this, definitely follow Alpha Saiyan on Instagram. He throws in those minute deck profiles that he's known for, and he does some pretty spicy things. So definitely smash that like button and go follow his Instagram to see other awesome deck profiles that he does. And there you guys have it from your super players and Alpha Saiyan, aka Abel. Y'all stay super.
Always pull up with my Android 18. Broly and Cell, all in my team. Guess you could call me the #1 theme. Double strike crit, you take those hits. I take it all in this game, Dragon Ball. Double strike crit, you take those hits. I take it all as I make the light fall. Double strike crit.